Okay, Bongani will bet me. I'm trying to make a shorter version of what I've recorded myself trying to say. I try to be less than 5 minutes, but I always end up 20 minutes plus. So let me try and be short. I'm looking at this person. They are called Black Business Council, and then they are headed by Khanki Matabane. I don't know if black people know Khanki Matabane, and then I don't know if black entrepreneurs know him. And these blacks like these, I don't know if you guys who are aspiring entrepreneurs and those who have run businesses, I don't know if you know these people, these successful blacks, because man, I don't know them, and I don't know what they benefit the black race with at all. Just know that there are these successful blacks who stay in suburbs or in better places, who don't associate with our jealous selves. All right, so we don't know their usefulness in anything in life. They are called the black diamonds, the most useless punks and the buffers between white state capturers and we black South Africans. These people, I'm sure if you can go to their houses, they are employing foreigners, black foreigners, for jobs that South Africans could be doing. And then they're going to come and lecture us about how the economy of South Africa has not changed and is still held by white. Yes, it's held by white. White committed a state capture in 1886, and that's European whites specifically. Let's put aside the Boer whites who actually were in, or rather they chose to be Africans, hence Afrikaners. At that stage, okay, they are now choosing to be Americans, so I guess they're gonna be Americanos. So, but back then they were Afrikaners, isn't it? So they were not fighting for the European economy; they were fighting for the South African economy, the Boer. But there were those people who established this economy that was started by colonialists. It's the English, the French, and them. All right. So those people captured this country for Europe and created an economic system that informs the privileges of Europe in 1886. All right. Their altar or head office there in Johannesburg, what Rand Club, the thing. All right. So now, those are the people who are holding our nation ransom. Now, here is where it beats me. I cannot excuse blacks of the ANC, blacks of the useless Inkatha Freedom Party, which is fighting for whites instead of suffering Zulus and blacks in KZN. I cannot excuse you guys for failing to transform the South African economy in 31 years. All I saw you doing is enjoying being the selected black politicians or black political leaders or black appointed leaders to sit in white boards in the private sector, which is intentionally made to be white superiority, led by white males, and kept like that intentionally. So there would be a token black face that actually takes most advices or all advices from the fellow corporate board, which is white, 90% or 99% white, and that black token that we see in media as the CEO of these white corporations. Okay, we try to be, we genuinely become happy. Oh, we're seeing our black, but what is this black person actually achieving for blacks in general? Whereas black contractors are languishing in poverty, whilst eternally, white companies, they are automatically experienced because they are white, you see. And black companies are eternally without experience. Same thing with jobs. Blacks, we started with white people at tertiary and we beat them in grades. All right. Even matric passes actually question if there were blacks who were interested in this in our black affairs. The question is supposed to be, why are medical doctors so lily white and Indian, according to which matric passes? Because this is clear-cut proof of the white economy, which decides which race for which jobs, which black nations for which jobs, which is how their minds themselves were run. That is why it is not The white economy has got no merit. It decides, but here's what it ensures. It actually keeps white people above. So it chose the three black nations that must work in mines: the Shangaan of Mozambique, the Basotho of Lesotho, the Xhosa of the then independent Transkei and Ciskei. That's how it operates to this day. It never changed. So what is that talent? Is that merit? When did white people know talent or merit? And then you pass far better than white people. Most of them even are tertiary dropouts. They don't make it much, all right? But suddenly, those tertiary dropouts are company CEOs. My CEO at the paint manufacturing company where I worked did not even have standard 10. She was white, privileged. The blacks who were more articulate and great in their brains than her did not make it up the ladder of the company because they didn't have qualifications. Wonderful. Why did she make it up? Because she herself, her white self, did not have qualifications. Neither were most of those of those contractors. Private sector has eternally experienced white contractors that they keep at all times, which ensure that black companies hardly make it in. This is one of the things which made me realize that if I was to go to business, I'm going to have a challenge continuing in engineering because of these intransigencies which were intentionally there, placed there. Now, here is the proof that white people are the actual state capturers, not Zuma. It has always been white people, particularly of European interest, the DA type of white people. DA is a European political organization. They are here to protect European affairs. They've got nothing to do with black South Africans and South Africa at large, but whites and the interest of white colonialists. So now, those people are the ones who captured the economy since 1886. So now, we have useless black pigs who have stayed in politics, legislating nothing in parliament for 30 years, thinking that you can improve a system that intrinsically was created to service and defend and protect white interests. How do you transform such a thing? Because that is not something that was supposed to be transformed. The economic system did not require transformation. It requires abolishment so that because it's not a South African economic system, it's a European economic system, all right? The Rand economy, formed by the English in the Rand Club, was not being formed for South African interests, but for English colonial interests. It has never been dismantled. So why are we servicing a system of white colonial interest and privilege? And how do you think that system will actually transform, or rather then absorb the very blacks it came to oppress? You go and make yourselves beautiful blacks there, great blacks, supported by white people, celebrated by white people. They're celebrating you in being masters of their system, not in being masters of transforming your black people. Black diamonds are the most useless pigs that I've ever met. You guys, you're the buffer between racist whites and our marginalized black indigenous South African selves. There's no economy of this country that will transform as long as it is held by your white people. The economic system of South Africa was supposed to be abolished and redefined to be truly South African. All right, so that didn't happen, and then it is not socialism or communism to call for the transformation of a colonial racist white system that is running South Africa. It is jurisprudence and actually decent systems of what is supposed to be capitalism, all right, because capitalism is supposed to be free trade. There's nothing like that, all right. There's white trade here, all right, and if you defy white people, you get punished. So that is not capitalism. There's no freedom in there. That is racism. So now we have the black buffers, which are yourselves working for the system and protecting the system, because you're protecting your jobs and your salaries. You're not in any of those white companies fighting for black people to have their fair share. None of you. We were in the industry. I worked as an engineer, low levels, none of your black folk who were in boards or next to those whites ever fought for us for anything. So my department, which was engineering department, was the most powerful department in that company, and we were hitting hard on white management, which your black faces were sitting with and doing nothing against. So we were fighting as and as our engineering team for black contractors. Was it supposed to be us? What were you doing as black boards members, the successful blacks? You never even you never even talked to us. You know, I don't even remember your successful selves having the decency to speak with other black people. We see you, beautiful cars, offices next to white people. You are in meetings. We don't know what you are. You guys are always discussing in those meetings. Honestly, only you know. But yeah, I have never met a black board member who is useful to black employees and the black nations of South Africa and the black race at large. I've seen you as puppets like Cyril Ramaphosa of whites. So we want to have any transformation as long as we've got your puppet selves. You are the buffer between wicked whites and ourselves. All right.